Okay, I'm ready to start now, the actual bracelet. I've got about 15 feet shrunk, pre-shrunk in boiling water, of woodland camo, paracord, and I've taken one end of the actual bracelet buckles and I've created a lark's head or girth hitch knot here to attach the paracord right in the middle of a bite, so the two working ends are on the other side. Now I can take this and install it here directly on the jig, snapping it in. Okay, now we're going to do the same for the other side. The other side will be done by taking my other buckle curved upwards and inserting the paracord from the bottom, both of the working ends. Get it pulled through there, like so. And then I want to pull it through to the point where I take out most of the working cord that I'm going to need, work out any tangles and so on, and then plug it into this side of the jig. Okay, so as I described, I just passed the paracord through the bottom of the buckle on this side, and then I used the sliding rail here on the jig to adjust the space between the buckles, as I showed in my first video on this jig, to the proper size for the customer's custom wrist measurement. In this case, this is being made for someone with a 6 3/4 snug against the skin wrist measurement. So the distance that I'm going to use for this kind of bracelet is about 1 1/4 inches longer than that measurement. So it's measured from this point on this buckle here, right there, to this point on that buckle. Now I'm ready to begin what's called the ladder rack knot. Okay, I want to set the jig up this way. So I've got my two working cords coming up from the bottom here, heading towards the top, and then we'll start the weave. So here we go. First, take this cord from the left side, pass it over like this. Then I take this cord over that, behind to the side, like you would do to begin a cobra stitch bracelet. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take this cord, bring it over here, under the middle two, and over on the other side. Okay? Got that? Now I take this cord here, I go over this, over the two in the middle, and under here, the outside. When I pull it tight, slide it up, work it tight, slide it up. It's going to form the starting pass for the knot. Now we just repeat the process. Take the cord from the left, bring it over, under the middle two, and over to the right. Then take this cord here, bring it here, over the middle, out the left side, pull, and then slide up. Pull it tight, slide it up. I'm going to take a second here and install 2 Paracord fids or lacing needles and show you a couple more passes. This time with the needles, show you probably a bit more clearly. Okay, now with the lacing needle involved, let me show you this probably a little more clearly. Starting with the left cord that's underneath, you go over, under 2, and then over. Then the right cord, it's currently going over this piece, so we're going to go under, pass over the middle 2 and over the previous pass, and then back under to the left. Pull a bit, slide it up, pull a bit more, slide it up. Try to be consistent in your efforts. The bracelet will start to shape up. Okay, one more time. Try it with a little bit of a closer view. Okay, last time. Start from the left, over, under 2, and over. Now from the right, under, over all of these, back off to the left. Okay, looks like I'm a little bit tangled here. There we go. Tighten it up, slide it up, tighten, slide. You can get a lot of cord into a bracelet like this. You just keep pushing it up, putting more and more rows in there and putting it up tight. A lot of people think that this is the weave I use on the BSB bracelet. It's not. The BSB bracelet is made with a single working end. It's a little bit different, but the end result looks similar. Alright, I'll check back in a second when I've got down to the end of the bracelet and show you how to finish it. Okay, now it's time to finish the bracelet. I finished the ladder rack weave down to the bottom here, so I'm going to disconnect from the jig. And now I'm going to finish the ends. If you've seen my other video on paracord bracelets, you'll know that I do not like to burn the ends and make them visible. I prefer to finish any job with tucking the ends if possible, and that's how I'm going to deal with finishing this bracelet. Okay, here's the top of the bracelet. So I want the bracelet to finish with a similar pattern so you can't really see what's happening to the ends. So this end here is fine. It's coming out the bottom of the bracelet, so I can just tuck that first never going to see it. It's already at the bottom of the bracelet. So I'm going to use my Paracord fid. Generally I find that if you insert something under 3 rows of paracord in a bracelet or a weave, Turk's head, whatever, it's generally not going to come out. And so that's always worked for me. So if it ain't broke, I won't fix it. Okay? That's tucked. Now back to the top again for a second. Sorry, here's this cord here. So I'm going to wrap it like that so it appears in pattern. Bring it around here. I'm going to tuck it under these strands. Actually going to tuck it sort of crisscross so it crosses this previous tuck. Well, there was a cat and a dog. I knew I wasn't going to get away with a perfectly quiet video here. Everyone gone at the moment. Okay, I'll go back to the top here and make sure everything looks okay. Flatten it out a little bit. Looks like that's a little bit too tight. There it is. The top of the bracelet then, you don't really see any termination of the ends of the paracord. On the bottom here then, if I cut these close, excuse me, I'm not too concerned with them fraying because that's actually comfortable against the wrist, much more so than the sharp end of a burned piece of paracord. So that would be it. I just used pretty close to 15 feet of paracord in this bracelet here. You could use a larger buckle if your goal was to have it match the thickness of the bracelet. You could also, when you did this wrap here, these lark's heads, you could also bring the paracord around one more time so you would have the appearance of 4 strands here on the buckle. But it's all a matter of preference. With this kind of bracelet, you can also weave in a scraper plate, like I now sell on Paracordist.com, the same scraper plate / ID tag that you see on the BSB bracelet, and you could then attach it by weaving in some jute that you can use for tinder. So I hope you liked it. This is Bud Brewer's ladder rack knot from Knotheads Worldwide, transformed into a paracord bracelet. One more thing. This knot and bracelet is far, far easier and quicker to unravel than is your typical Cobra Stitch bracelet, which is another advantage. Thanks again for watching. See you soon. Online.